Well, hey everybody, I'm Jan Erickson from Stepping Aside, and welcome to Correspondences for Work and Magic on Thursday, the 9th day of September 2021. Well, I just wanted to go over what those are today and make a little bit of a recommendation here. Jupiter, excuse me, governs magic today. Now remember, Jupiter is still in retrograde. It governs issues of social justice, healing, abundance, income, growth, achieving goals and desires. But here's the thing, when planets are in retrograde, it forces us to look inward to how we perceive things. And so what I'm recommending today, favorability is excellent for work and magic. But with Jupiter both in Aquarius, which is unconventional thinking and all of that, and also in retrograde until October 19th, crafting a ritual to raise inner awareness is recommended. How you do that is up to you. And if you want to still maintain Activist Thursday, you can do that as well, something with respect to that. But this is just my thought today. And you can, if you have any growing, and if you don't, plant some because it's wonderful. You could lay some some sprigs of fresh peppermint or a small dish of dried peppermint if that's all you have, on the altar or workspace to awaken perception during your ritual. If you have any borage that's still blooming, we do, but it's pretty raggedy. Of course, when it gets to that point, we just cut it back and give it to the chickens, which if you have chickens, they love borage. It's high water content. They go crazy over it. And they love the blue flowers, especially one of my roosters. He loves blue flowers. I watched him one day on a plant that it's the Johnny Jump Up. It's like they're otherwise they're called little violas. Anyway, he saw that on the deck and he just stood there, and he picked every flower and ate it. I stood there, I just watched him just to see. I didn't see, and when he was done, he left. He didn't go after the leaves, didn't butcher the plant, in other words, but he took every single blue blossom. They're blue and white, but every blossom off of the plant. And I just thought it was the funniest thing I'd ever seen. But then you watch him with the borage, and he does the same thing. He loves it. And so anyway, aside from that, but the borage flowers are going to increase inner strength as well. So if you have them, use them. And they're pretty, you know. Wood betony is also helpful to increase intuitive awareness and to let go of perceptions that no longer serve. It's also a good herb for headaches and things like that. So I do grow that as well, and I tincture it and use it in teas and all of that. Let's see. So we're going to want to perform the ritual during an hour attributed to Jupiter. Now, this time I've included a picture of what an hour's table actually looks like, at least from my software that I use. But I've also included that link to that other website where you can put your own location in. If you're on the west coast of the United States, though, then this would suffice. It'd be fine for you. But if you really want to get it perfect, then you want to go to that website, that GeoData website where it will you put your own location in, and it'll create your own table for you. And that way you know exactly if you want to be that specific. And I'm compulsive enough that I do. So anyhow, that's what I suggest. And so I've given a link to that as well. And also, look over the magical correspondences that reflect reflect elemental air on Thursday, because they do. Jupiter aligns with elemental air, and see what you can use there. The colors blue, crystals are sapphire, jasper, and emerald. Rough cut emerald is not that expensive to buy at all. You can get a few pieces and put them on the altar. They're really lovely. Jasper's also lovely in just about any form. Balm of Gilead, those are actually the poplar buds and if you've got, poplar or cottonwood, they're all kind of part of the same family. I have both poplar and cottonwood growing here on the property. So they're sticky. And they can be tinctured. You know, they're useful in a variety of ways. But you can also they're also resiny, and so they can be useful on the altar as well. Saffron's another one, but there again, saffron's expensive. I tried growing saffron crocus. I've gotten some threads. I'm not sure what I've done with them. Wait a minute, is it here? Oh yeah, it's just right here. So, I mean, I have hardly any. I don't know what that is, but I have hardly any in here. But you can kind of see them. Well, let me get them down further on the bottom. There they are there. So I don't have very many. I was going to use them for cooking, but unfortunately I've not gotten them. And this year they didn't grow. So I don't know what happened there. I'm going to have to get more bulbs or something. But anyway, I'm hoping they'll come up, but I haven't seen them this year, and I didn't see them last year, so I don't know what's going on there. But that's also useful. It's expensive, though. I think if you're going to use it, you know, as you know, to burn in a cauldron, I don't know. I would use it, you know, very sparingly if you do, or include them in a mojo bag or something like that. That might be something you could use them for, but I would just be careful. So if you want to burn something in a cauldron for this, then I would say copal. Copal is just a good all-around purification type of a resin, and I recommend it basically as a substitute for everything. Frankincense is too, but copal and frankincense, they basically replace each other in a working. So we've talked a little bit about and then you see down in the herbal section, you see poplar as one of the herbs or one of the trees. And again, that's basically that's the same thing as the balm of Gilead. Agrimony is a good one to use. Again, the mints, borage is listed, as is wood betony. Meadowsweet is another one that's lovely to use. I don't have any fresh right now. Mine are all dried for teas and tincturing and all of that, although I don't think I need to make any more tincture. I have enough from last year. But so all of that can be used as well. We have a 9 energy today, endings, completion, and spirituality. Polarities are basically in balance. Masculine or projective side of self is a little bit like 1 point again stronger than the other, but it's not enough to make any difference. Again, elemental air is the strongest elemental influence today, so it's going to align very well with what you want to do. Check out the rune divination with Kenaz, Gebo, and Birkenau. Basically, you know, especially if you're looking at reevaluating perception and inner awareness, I think that rune divination might be helpful to consult when you're. And when I say that, I mean you can use it to influence the direction of what you're doing, if it happens to resonate. If not, you know, that's okay. And one change I wanted to mention, I had with Jupiter's on the retrograde information, I referenced Pisces, and I didn't put that it had gone into Aquarius, and I just didn't see that. I meant to make that change when it did, and I didn't do it. So I took that out and made it more neutral and not referencing, you know, where it is, but it's actually in Aquarius, and I can't believe I didn't see that. But there's so much here that I guess it just, I don't know, I read it and it just seemed right, and I didn't realize that I needed to change that until today, and so I did. Anyhow, so sorry about that, and but that's been changed over in the forecast on the blog, and then everywhere this appears. So anyhow, that's it on the recommendations for magic on Thursday, the 9th of September. Have a good day. We'll talk again tomorrow, and be good to yourself, be good to one another, and blessed be.